What if everything you think about your own brain is completely wrong? What if your high intelligence is actually the exact reason you make terrible, embarrassing decisions? It sounds strange, doesn't it? You study hard. You read books. You passed your English exams. You can think logically. Yet sometimes you look back at a choice you made and think, why did I do that? Am I actually stupid? Today, we are going to explore the dangerous reason why very intelligent people make incredibly stupid choices. And more importantly, we are going to look directly at you to see if you are falling into this exact same trap right now. But before we start our story, remember this. While you listen and read along, you are naturally improving your English. Don't worry about understanding every single word. Just enjoy the lesson, let the story guide you, and keep listening. Let's begin with a small thought experiment. Imagine a man named Alex. Alex is an expert in finance. He graduated from a top university at the top of his class. He speaks 3 languages fluently. He can calculate complex numbers in his head in seconds. Everybody in his town asks Alex for advice because he is, without a doubt, the smartest person in the room. One morning, Alex receives an email. The email says, "Urgent security update. Your bank account has been locked. Click this link immediately to verify your password and save your money." Now let me ask you a question. What would you do? If you are a smart person, you probably think, I would never click that link. It is obviously a scam. It is a trick. But Alex? Alex did not hesitate. He did not stop to think. He was stressed about an upcoming business meeting. He felt a sudden spike of fear about his money. He clicked the link. He entered his password. And within 10 minutes, his entire life savings vanished. Why did a man with a brilliant brain do something so obviously foolish? Was it because he didn't know about internet scams? No. He had read articles about them. Was it because he lacked logic? Absolutely not. The answer is much more dangerous. It is a psychological phenomenon that is affecting you right now as you listen to my voice. Are you still reading along? Good, because this next part is about you. Psychologists have discovered that intelligent people have a massive problem. We call this problem the intelligence trap. When you have a high IQ, or when you are good at learning things, like learning a new language, your brain becomes very efficient. It builds fast pathways. It learns how to find arguments to support what it wants to believe. In other words, smart people do not use their intelligence to find the truth. They use their intelligence to prove that they are already right. Think about your own life for a moment. Have you ever had an argument with someone where you knew, deep down, that you were wrong? But instead of admitting it, your fast, clever brain quickly created 5 different reasons why you were actually right? You used your intelligence as a weapon to protect your ego, not to find the correct answer. Can you imagine this happening to you? It happens to all of us. Every 30 seconds, your brain is making unconscious choices. It decides what to look at, what to ignore, and who to trust. And the smarter you are, the better you are at lying to yourself. When a person with average intelligence makes a mistake, they often realize it quickly. They think, I don't know much about this topic, I should be careful. But when a smart person makes a mistake, they defend it with complex words, beautiful logic, and absolute confidence. They don't just make a mistake, they build a fortress around their mistake. Let's check in on your learning progress for a moment. Remember, every sentence you read and hear is helping your English improve naturally. Your brain is absorbing grammar structures and vocabulary right now, even if you are just focusing on the story. Keep going. You are doing great. Now let's introduce a new challenge to this idea. There is a specific word for this dangerous condition. It is called disrationalia. It is a big vocabulary word, but the meaning is simple. The inability to think and behave rationally, despite having high intelligence. You can be a genius at mathematics, but a complete idiot when it comes to managing your relationships. You can be an expert English speaker, but totally blind to your own bad habits. Why does this happen? It happens because intelligence and wisdom are 2 completely different things. Intelligence is like having a fast, powerful engine in your car. Wisdom is knowing how to drive that car safely through a storm. If you have a massive engine but you don't know how to drive, you are just going to crash into the wall much faster than everyone else. If you enjoy stories like this and want to improve your English every day, follow and subscribe right now. By subscribing, you ensure that you never miss a lesson for your mind and your language skills. To understand why your smart brain betrays you, you need to understand the 3 dangerous illusions that control your daily choices. The first illusion is the illusion of knowledge. This is the belief that because you know a lot about one subject, you know a lot about everything. Let's look at another example. Imagine a famous doctor. She's a world-class heart surgeon. She saves lives every day. She's highly respected. Because she's a genius in the operating room, she begins to believe she's a genius in everything else. She starts investing in the stock market. She doesn't study the market because she thinks, I am a smart doctor. Investing must be easy for someone like me. What happens? She loses millions of dollars. She fell victim to the illusion of knowledge. She forgot that being an expert in one room makes you a beginner in another. The second illusion is the illusion of control. Smart people love control. They love organizing their lives, planning their futures, and solving problems. But life is full of chaos. When smart people face a situation they cannot control, like a global crisis, a sudden market change, or even the difficult journey of learning a new language, they panic. Instead of accepting the chaos, they try to force their own rules onto reality. They make desperate, emotional choices because they cannot accept that they are powerless in that moment. Do you agree with this? Think about your own experiences before we continue. Have you ever tried to force a situation to work simply because you couldn't admit you weren't in control? The third and most dangerous illusion is the bias blind spot. This is the psychological reality that you can see the mistakes and biases in everyone else, but you are completely blind to them in yourself. You can look at your friend and say, "Why are you staying in that terrible job? Why are you buying things you can't afford? That is a stupid choice." You see their errors perfectly. But when you do the exact same thing, your brain gives you a special excuse. Your brain says, "Oh, but my situation is different. I have a good reason." You are attacking others for their human flaws while giving yourself a free pass. Even if you are only listening to this story while driving or walking, your brain is learning English. It is connecting sounds to meanings. You don't need to overthink it. Just stay curious about the lesson. Let's go deeper into the psychology of this problem. Why is our ego so connected to being right? When we are children, school teaches us a very dangerous lesson. It teaches us that the smartest children are the ones who have all the answers. The children who get 100% on the test are praised. The children who raise their hands first are called clever. So we grow up believing that our value as a human being depends on being correct. We learn to fear the words, "I don't know." We learn to hate the feeling of being wrong. When you enter the real world, this survival mechanism becomes a disease. Let's look at a real historical example. In the year 1999, there was a massive company called Enron. It was full of the smartest executives, the most brilliant accountants, and the highest-paid financial minds in the world. They considered themselves the smartest guys in the room. Because they believed they were too smart to fail, they started making small mistakes. But instead of pausing, admitting their mistakes, and fixing them, their giant egos forced them to hide the errors. They used complex accounting tricks to create the illusion of success. They lied to the public, they lied to the government, and worst of all, they lied to themselves. They truly believed their own intelligence would save them. It didn't. In 2001, the company collapsed completely. It was one of the biggest bankruptcies in human history. Thousands of people lost their jobs, and the brilliant executives went to prison. They didn't fail because they lacked intelligence. They failed because they lacked humility. This brings us to a shocking realization. High intelligence without humility is a psychological hazard. It is a weapon that points directly at your own chest. If this story makes you think, and if you want to continue challenging your mind while mastering the English language, take a second to follow and subscribe for more English stories and listening practice. Your support helps create more lessons like this one. So, what is the solution? How do you protect yourself from your own intelligent, deceptive mind? How do you stop making stupid choices? The solution requires a specific mindset shift. You need to develop what psychologists call intellectual humility. Intellectual humility does not mean you think you are stupid. It means you are fully aware of the limits of your mind. It means you are willing to say 3 magic words that can save your life, your money, and your relationships. I might be wrong. Let's practice this idea together. Think of a strong opinion you hold right now. It could be an opinion about politics, about money, or about the best way to live life. Now ask yourself this question. What evidence would it take to change my mind? If your answer is, nothing could ever change my mind, then you are currently trapped. You are in the danger zone. Your intelligence has stopped working for you and has started working against you. To break free from the intelligence trap, you must start treating your thoughts like scientific theories, not like your personal identity. When a scientist creates a theory, they don't fall in love with it. They try to destroy it. They look for every piece of data that proves the theory is wrong. If the theory survives the attacks, it is good. If it dies, they celebrate because they are now closer to the truth. Can you do that with your own beliefs? Can you actively look for reasons why your choices might be stupid? The next time you're about to make a major decision, whether it is buying a car, moving to a new city, or changing your career, don't just list the reasons why it is a great idea. Force yourself to sit down with a piece of paper and write down the absolute worst-case scenario. Ask a friend who disagrees with you for their honest advice. And most importantly, listen to them without trying to defend yourself. As we come to the end of our lesson today, let's look at the ultimate truth about human intelligence. Your brain is a beautiful, powerful tool. It allows you to create art, to understand science, and to learn beautiful languages like English. But never forget that your brain is also an ancient animal organ. Its primary goal is not to find absolute truth. Its primary goal is to protect your ego and keep you feeling comfortable. The most dangerous people in the world are not those who lack intelligence. The most dangerous people are those who possess high intelligence but have zero awareness of their own ignorance. They are drivers accelerating a fast car with their eyes completely closed. Don't let your intelligence become your blindfold. Be proud of what you know, but remain intensely curious about what you do not know. True wisdom is not about having all the answers. True wisdom is having the courage to question your own mind. Thank you for listening today. Remember, every single story you read and hear makes your English stronger, your vocabulary richer, and your mind sharper. You are making progress every single day, one sentence at a time. Keep learning, keep listening, and keep growing. Before you leave, I leave you with one final question to ponder. What is one choice you are making in your life right now that you need to question before it is too late? If you enjoyed this story and want to continue your journey of self-improvement and language mastery, make sure to follow and subscribe for more English listening practice. See you in the next story.